All right, for the final race of the day, it is going to be a real battle up front. No question, the Miss Budweiser, the defending champion, will be right up in there. Jim Kropfeld is the driver. Also up in there, a guy that's been giving him some problems all day long, George Woods Jr. in the Oh Boy Oberto. Steve David, the rookie, in Pocket Savers Plus. Also in the field today will be the Hulset Miss Madison, Ron Snyder, one of the most consistent boats on the circuit, and the new boat that's proven itself a worthy competitor, Mr. Pringles, Scott Pierce, the driver. And the boats are heading out now. Looks a little unusual there, doesn't it? Well, that's why. We're looking through some sunglasses. They have been used a lot here today in Miami, although now an overcast is coming in.
The start is going to be all important. I wonder where the Pringles will want to start, tight or wide. Likewise, Jim Kropfeld in this boat, the Miss Budweiser.
That's a decision that has to be made early on as the boats come out of turn number 3. We'll take a look, and there you can see the lanes have been established. Now, once they hit the halfway point of that turn, they must maintain their lane up through the start of the race. So at this point, it appears to be Oh Boy Oberto on the inside. He started there all day long, and as they take the start, it is George Woods Jr. in the Oh Boy Oberto leading the pack.
Way back is Pringles getting a bad start in slot number 2. The rookie right in the middle of the pack is Steve David in the Pocket Savers. Budweiser has lane 4 in the far outside. Bouncing wildly is the Miss Madison, the Hulset Miss Madison, and the 2 reciprocal boats hit the apex of the first turn on time. The rest, I think we had a problem back there. I'm not sure. All I could see was a wall of water while the 2 reciprocal engines. On the left is Miss Madison with a slight lead. Now Oberto takes over on the inside. I think we have a problem back there. I see red flares. I see red flares going off right now. We've got a problem back in corner number 1. I believe it involves the Miss. It is the Miss Budweiser. Look at that, Dick.
Jimmy Kropfeld is still in the cockpit of the Miss Budweiser. It looks like he has been in some sort of a collision, and we don't know the other boat. It looks like Mr. Pringles. Mr. Pringles is upside down in the water right now. Scotty Pierce is exiting the cockpit through the bottom of the boat. Jimmy Kropfeld still motionless in the Miss Budweiser.
That I don't like. He's either pinned or he's unconscious. Right now they're working. They've got Scotty Pierce out of the Mr. Pringles. His boat is completely upside down. He's got flotation. It's not in danger of sinking. Look at the Budweiser. 2 top contenders wiped out in 1 split second.
The medical team got right out there, and they're attending to Jimmy Kropfeld. Now let's take a look and see if we can spot in the spray exactly what happened out there. There you see the lead boats, Oh Boy Oberto and the Miss Madison. Miss Madison is closest to you as we go through, but concentrate on the back end of the rooster tail. Let's see, there's the Budweiser. Budweiser's popping in and out of the rooster tails. Now let's see what happens to the Budweiser. Somehow he looks like he spun. Did you see the water kick up? It looked like he spun. He may have spun right in front of Mr. Pringles. Keep your eye on where the Budweiser is. We're trailing out, and that's exactly what happened. Pringles comes over the top. There you can see him coming down. Scotty Pierce's boat ending upside down in the water. They have now gotten Jimmy Kropfeld out of the cockpit of the Miss Budweiser. He's being boarded onto the medical boat.
Our radio, we have a frequency on the URC frequency. They are reporting from the boat that he is talking. He is talking. He was pinned. They had to cut him loose. That's why he was motionless. We'll be back with a further report and the restart of the final heat of the HFC American Hydro Series in just a moment. Here at Miami's Marine Stadium. Now let's take Dick Crippen on a closer look, if we can, and try to blow up some of these pictures of the accident to the Mr. Pringles and the Miss Budweiser as we slow the action down.
All right, this is the action slowed down, and as we look at the rear of the rooster tail, off to the left-hand side of your screen, you can see the tail of the Miss Budweiser bouncing in and out of the sprays. He seems to be between the 2 sprays at this point. There, now watch that center of your screen. You'll see it now. We kind of circle it in there so you can keep a little better eye on it. All of a sudden, the boat apparently veers and goes against the grain, turns off sharply to the left. You can see the tail spinning, and there you see that rooster tail of water coming up. That's an abnormal spray of water coming up, indicating that the boat has spun. He settles back down into the water immediately, and he is right side up at this point. It would have been fine had there not been another boat coming up behind him. But if you remember in the call originally, the Pringles was a little late in starting, a little bit off the line. Here he comes over the top of the Budweiser. He goes down hard on the right sponson of the boat. It is not enough to stop the boat from rolling over. It ends up on its deck, upside down in the water. Jim Hendricks is down in the pit. He's just gotten with the Budweiser owner, Bernie Little. Jim?
Down here in the pits with Bernie Little. Bernie, sometimes your duck would drown if you had one.
Yeah, you're right, Jim. It was really tough, as you can see. Had it not been for the Miss Budweiser having a canopy, we wouldn't have a Jim Kropfeld today, I'll guarantee you, Jim.
Well, and maybe not even a Scott Pierce either, because he ended up upside down on his canopy.
Yes, I saw him, and I was watching through your viewer there as he was coming out of the boat, and thank God they're both okay, I do believe. I know I talked to Kropfeld, and he was moving everything, and his neck was hurting, and we're going to head over there to hospital now.
I'll tell you what, thank the good guy upstairs, because you were the one that instituted and became the pioneer of the canopy to cover these drivers.
Yeah, Anheuser-Busch and Budweiser funded a couple $1 million worth, and today it's paid off double-fold.
For both the Miss Budweiser and the Mr. Pringles. Well, there is a strange set of circumstances involving Chip Hanauer in the restart of this race. Let's go to Mark Spencer.
Now, as a result of the accident, your position in the final has changed as the first alternate. What will have to happen for you to get in the race?
A real strange set of circumstances. We would be the first alternate, meaning we would go out on the race course. At the 1 minute gun, I've got to count boats, and if all 5 of the preliminary, or all 4 of the 5 of the primary boats are not running, then I can go ahead and make a start. So I'll just be counting boats at the 1 minute gun.
We're set to go as the weather continues to close in, and the restart of the final heat. Here's the lineup.
Oh boy, Alberto is still in it. George Woods Jr. driving that boat. Along with him in there will be the Pocket Savers Plus. This is the rookie driver, Stephen David. Holsett Miss Madison, the consistent boat. Ron Snyder, the driver. They are in the final field. Along with the Garrett Jackpot Foods boat, moving up with Jerry Hopp, the driver. Here's the Miller High Life, and again, he has got the Miami Jinx.
I'll tell you one thing. If he doesn't start it, and he's plowing right now, and it looks doubtful, we'll have an all-reciprocal engine final, not a turbine in the final.
Here they come, and it is all reciprocal as they come down for the start. Looks like, oh boy, Alberto is in his favorite lane, and that is lane number 1. So as they come down for the start, watch on the outside. Miss Madison again starts to get a little loose in the water down there, but that really, Jim, is the way that boat rides.
Oh boy, Alberto, Holsett Miss Madison, Garrett Jackpot Foods, and the Pocket Saver are the finalists right now in the restart since the accident to the Pringles and the Budweiser. And here is George Woods, who can possibly, if he can keep it up, win his first unlimited hydroplane race ever.
Well, it would certainly be a thrill for him because he had a lot of challenge out there when he was fighting the turbine engines, but he was right up there with them, and right now he's proving his worth against all reciprocal engines. He is the leader. There's George Woods as he comes out of turn number 4, right down by the pit area here in Miami. Second place is Ronnie Snyder in the Holsett Miss Madison.
And it's about a 9-second lead now for our lead boat, the oh boy, Alberto. He checks in, and let's watch the clock. It's 104.7, so he's really not pushing it. Looking at the Madison as he comes across, he's about 11 miles an hour slower at 93 plus.
George Woods will just try to hold it in out there. There's no sense in pushing the boat further than what need be pushed at this point. He just wants to win this race, so he'll keep an eye on the boats behind him. And incidentally, talking about that, you can see that he has small mirrors off to the side of his cockpit on each side, so he can see what the competition is doing and be aware of boats as they come up in his blind spots. There's a good shot of it right there, head on. Look at that prop turning in the water down there.
A year ago this time, this boat was en route from its home base in Seattle to make this race. About 3/4 of the way, a truck fire. The engines were destroyed. The truck was destroyed. Part of the boat was burned. They had to regroup, and they did not join us till the West Coast. They missed the whole East Coast circuit. And they returned this year. They made it all the way. Their truck with no fire, no breakdowns, and they're leading this race and could possibly win it.
And here's another boat that's staying right up there right now in 3rd place, the Pocket Savers Plus boat. That's Stephen David, who is a rookie. He's driven just about every kind of hydroplane that is known to man, and now has stepped into the unlimited seat. Jackpot, Jerry Hopp, staying right in there. These boats are very, very consistent. Those piston engines are proving their worth today, at least in these cases.
They think that if there ever comes a time that there's enough turbines and enough reciprocals of this style to race together, they may make 2 different classes in unlimiteds. But I don't know. I think they're all going to go turbine.
Well, we'll see what happens in the years to come. They've certainly all started to switch over to cockpits. Ronnie Snyder, who just would like to finish this race, he'd love to win the race, but a second place certainly would be happy. Here's your winner, ladies and gentlemen. The first time ever in an unlimited hydroplane, the win for George Woods Jr.
You got to know that Jim Harvey and that crew of Old Boy Alberta without Alberta. Look at, are they happy? Ha ha! We'll be back and talk to the winner.
We qualified at the last second on Saturday, and today we pulled it off. We're elated.
You've been running consistent all weekend long.
Yeah, well, you know, we don't have the speed that some of the turbines got, but we do have consistency, and I can't say anything about, you know, it's a great crew, of course. You know, consistency is up to them.
How'd the boat handle?
It handled great. You know, this is the first time that we've had the canopy. The boat's a little lighter in the front end. We're still trimming and playing with propellers, but it felt really good today.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
A happy day for George Woods aboard the Oh Boy Alberto. He finishes first. Holsett Miss Madison is second, and Jackpot is